Happy Monday, everyone.
There we go. Can you hear me?
I'm here, brother.
What's going on, my dude? Good to see you. Cheers. It's coffee today.
Happy Monday. Happy Monday, indeed. Astros.
Oh, Astros, nice. Congrats. Cheating ass team, but congrats.
Big week.
Bunch of cheaters.
Cheating ass sport. Come on.
Very
what
true.
It literally was made on.
Very true.
Who can cheat better and more discreetly? But hey, hold it down.
The Dodgers lost, so I'm happy. That's
Love
all
it.
that matters. All that matters.
All the tears.
Yeah. But like Ashton said, welcome to the Blitz Breakdown, everybody. Glad to have you guys in. We are doing a Monday show, getting it in early this week, and because there's a lot going on. We got Halloween. We got some awesome Thursday night football matchup. Finally, an awesome Thursday night football matchup. The Green Bay Packers against the first place, undefeated first place, Arizona Cardinals. Who would have thunk it? I was one of those people that was definitely talking my trash on Cliff Kingsbury and saying the offense isn't tailor-made for the NFL. They're winning. They're making it happen. So what you gonna do? I mean, you gotta give them their credit, gotta give them their props. But now I think this is gonna be the first big test. They beat the Rams. That's a divisional game. It's kind of different. Out of the division against Aaron Rodgers and the surging Green Bay Packers, I think is going to be a big, massive test. I'm really looking forward to it. We'll see kind of how it goes.
And I saw something not long ago that Devontae Adams was put on the COVID list, so that could be an issue. So
yes,
we'll see how that develops. But overall, it's going to be a great matchup, all things considered, or at least you would think so. But yeah, Cardinals have really taken siege this year, and I think if you really look over like the overall roster overhaul that they've done, you can see why it just looks like a much better team than we're used to the Cardinals being, because there's just a lot more talent on this roster than there typically is. So props to Steve Keim and that whole front office that have been building it over the years, because they're one of the most fun teams to watch in the NFL right now.
Yeah, seeing Kyler Murray do the Kyler Murray things in the backfield is just, it's outstanding. It really is. Yeah. It is, I don't know, Lamar Jackson-esque in ways, but I mean, he has his own style to it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And he's got a cannon for an arm, and he's got, I'm going to have to say, the second best wide receiving core in the NFL right now, to my Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but it is pretty darn close when you have...
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, go for it.
I was going to say, who do you think's harder to sack, Lamar or Kyler?
I would think Kyler. He's so
I think
short.
So too. And short area quickness.
Yeah.
You're like trying to get off of a block, and he just.
When you have you have a 6'5" defensive end and you have a 5'10" Kyler Murray, they literally, their arms can't get that low. Like, if you're still halfway in a block and you're trying to hit that strip sack, your hands got to get lower than they're used to. They're not, that ball isn't right here at eye level. It's like down here for them. And so I think Kyler has kind of an advantage in that way. Obviously, he's short. He can't see over his offensive line. He has to move in the pocket to get to passing angles, but that's never been an issue. It's just an excuse.
Yeah.
Which
just who's easier to catch, Roadrunner or Speedy Gonzalez? It's just
exactly.
Two different, really quick individuals. But yeah, no, I think it just goes to testament to what we were talking about, I think it was 2 or 3 weeks ago, about just how we're just in the best time we've ever had to watch NFL football. Like the amount of young quarterbacks that are just performing at an elite to not legendary or historic level it's insane to watch on a weekly basis. And I think that's why we've had so much high quality football so far this season, is just because people are on their shit, and it's really cool to watch, and let's enjoy it while it lasts.
Yeah. We're going to have to get into it, man. We have to rip the Band-Aid
I'm
off.
putting it off as long as I could, though. Yeah.
I would love to talk about everything, but I think do you want to start? You want to start off with that, or do you want to end with it? I'll give you the option.
I don't know how long this is going to take, so let's just go ahead and rip it off and start the recovery process.
Getting some stuff.
So yesterday was a lot of emotions. I'm past humbled. I'm past agitated. I'm past frustrated. I'm past worried. Now it's like we gotta make changes. Something's got to go. Something's got to alter. Something's got to be renovated, because what we saw yesterday is we're not even a microcosm of what we were expecting to be from a prediction standpoint or just an overall competency standpoint. The defense is a mess. The offense is all over the place, inconsistent at best. But first off, shout out to the Titans. Any Titans fans that might be listening, I'm not going to shit on the Titans. They've earned this win. They were by far the better team. And I went into this game last week just saying, you know what, I'm not worried about the Titans because I don't think a running game can beat Patrick Mahomes. And we've already beaten them in the AFC Championship, and that monkey's off our back. And I'm not worried about the Titans like I used to be, which was wrong, because we have now won one of the last 6 matchups against the Tennessee Titans. They are still the boogeyman, which is terrifying, which I thought we were good to go. Like the Chiefs, the curses have been lifted, and no, they're back and better than ever, it seems. So it's a lot of emotions, like I said. But yeah, first off, Titans, well done on all, if not most, accounts of the overall game plan execution. Vrabel went out and absolutely outcoached the entire coaching staff of the Kansas City Chiefs. Ryan Tannehill was balling, going in on us. Like, I was shitting on him a little bit last week. My B, Ryan, you crushed it. He even had that's going to be his new logo, the finger roll Jumpman logo that he did when he ran it in. His marketing team's working on that as we speak to get that patented, because he trademarked on us on that. And the offensive onslaught brought to you by Chipotle, because A.J. Brown definitely had the bubble guts last week because he was shitting all over our defense all day. And there was nothing that could be done. And it was just a clinic being put on us at all times. And it was brutal. And it was an enlightening experience, because I had to just walk away after the second quarter and said, I'll be back. I'll check this out another time, because I can already see all of the things that used to happen in the Alex Smith era. And there was even some Matt Castle era sprinkled in for good measure. And not from Patton himself, but the overall Chiefs efficacy, which doesn't feel good to watch. So, yeah, just want to get that out of the way. Titans absolutely won the game. Y'all are a better team than the Kansas City Chiefs at this point, and they're a threat. They're an absolute threat. I mean, Derrick Henry averaged – he didn't even get 100 yards. Like, the defense locked down Derrick Henry, which, to my own point, you can't beat Patrick Mahomes with a running game, but you can if you do everything else better than him. So, well done on stopping Derrick Henry. Ugh, what the hell on everything else. So, yeah, the Titans are our boogeyman still. Where do you go from here?
Let me ask this.
Yeah. Go for it.
Can they, your Chiefs have been the top of the upper echelon teams and have looked like one of the scariest teams of all time. Like, from a scoring standpoint, what Patrick Mahomes brought to the football field is something that I think we've never seen before. I'm still going to say I know he's having a rough patch, but the greatest quarterback talent I've ever seen. But before you get into the grand scheme of things, of the overall, do you think that there is even a slight chance that they can still rebound this season?
I do. And I think there's a few ways they can, but again, there's going to have to be something drastic changed. Like, they can't go about it the same way that got them to where we are now, which is resting on the laurels of the Chiefs that we came to know the past few years, which is that spread it out. Andy Reid, West Coast system, depend on teams to get sucked in a little bit and then eventually take advantage of it vertically deep, and then have a defense that has Steve Spagnuolo that could generate pressure through different blitzes, which will in turn get more turnovers, which will in turn give you more possessions for Patrick Mahomes. That magic that formula is not working to create magic right now. And the way that the defense is even being set up goes to show that I think from a schematic standpoint, like, this isn't the way this team needs to be utilized, because with what we're dealing with here, I genuinely don't think it's a talent issue. I don't think Brett Veach, he's had some big swings and misses, so that has a big part of why the complete roster construction may be a little suboptimal. But at the end of the day, the starting lineup that they had out this week, every single one of those players, I feel confident would be at least a key role player, if not a starter, on most other NFL teams.
Oh, I agree.
Outside of perhaps Mike Dana, who I think he's a role player at this point anyways, but where the team's edge positions are currently, he's just kind of, he needs to step up. He needs to be that guy. And Frank Clark is absolutely the biggest black hole on this team right now, from a salary cap standpoint, from a production standpoint, from a mentality standpoint, from an off-the-field baggage standpoint. He's getting a lot of flack in Kansas City Twitter right now because he was on the sideline late in the game, like 2 minutes left in the game, down multiple possessions, and he was quite jovial. He was in a good mood. He was like goofing around, and people were like, it's not what you want to see, like, one of your highest paid players who is already, on the hot seat for multiple other occurrences. And it's sending a bad message. It's sending a bad message, and I think that's really the only thing Veach can do from his standpoint, is probably just be on the lookout for more edge rushers. When the Super Bowl championship year, they picked up Terrell Suggs out of nowhere, so hopefully that kind of opportunity can present itself again. We'll see. But I don't think it's a talent issue on defense. It's a coaching issue.
It's
on both
schematic.
ends, really.
I think it is. It's far more schematics and not being able to do the fundamentals, especially from an offensive standpoint. I think you guys have relied so heavily on being such an explosive team, and it's worked. So why change why fix what ain't broke? But now it's broke. Now it's not necessarily that somebody wrote the book. Like, I don't think it was the Buccaneers that did this to the Chiefs. I think it was the Chiefs heavily relying on one facet, one wrinkle of an overall, what should be an entire offense. They made an entire offense out of a wrinkle, out of a handful of it's a system that is very, very exotic, very pretty when you have all these talent, and they're heavily relying on the talent to get the job done, more so than having base plays, fundamental plays, the 10, the 15, the 20, 20-yard or 20-play drives. Like, that's not KC's MO. But when the big play doesn't work, you have to be able to chip your way down. And that's not they're not a putting team. They're a long drive team. And I do think that from an X's and O's standpoint, they're going to have to backtrack and take a couple steps back and get back to some of the basics of football, some of your regular plays, some play action, some bootleg, establish the run, bend but don't break that the bend but don't break defense that they had, that got them the last 2 years, instead of being ultra aggressive and again heavily relying on the talent to get the job done. You need to be able to have them just at least be able to tackle, at least be able to, not have some blown coverages, and I think
rush.
It's the little things that I think they're doing wrong. It's not that there's a lack of talent. It's not that there isn't that there isn't the ability for this to get turned around tomorrow and be fixed from a talent standpoint. But yes, the secondary is subpar. And if you can't get a pass rush, then that secondary is extremely exposed. And your linebackers have never been, the greatest run stuffers. You guys have never been the greatest run stopping defense, but you have somebody like Chris Jones who you're asking to play defensive end and D tackle and do all these things, when I think just getting to a base defense and putting, bodies on bodies and seeing what happens is going to be a lot better approach than what they have been doing. That being said, I'm going to shut up and let you continue, because I know there's a lot to say right now.
All good points. And I was like that. Yeah, I could do some off that. But no, I want to say I think they were trying to get to the base defense at the beginning of this year, and they didn't start doing the overly aggressive blitzes that Spags is known for until the past 3 weeks, honestly.
Yeah.
I think they're just broken right now in that sense, to the point that I think the end of Spags is near, and this is just kind of how his whole career goes. He usually stops in places for 3 to 5 years and just does his little sprinkles and has little bursts, and then it kind of dies off. And it's just I wouldn't say gimmicky, but it's exotic. It's an exotic defense that tries to be creative to do different things. But at the end of the day, if you're not just putting the players in a position to succeed by their own talents, you're going to have a bad time. And we're putting Chris Jones out of position. We're putting Jarran Reed hasn't been a factor at all.
No.
And he's supposed to be a strong interior pass rusher, and we can't find a way to put him on the field. I want to disagree with the linebackers. I think there's a strong potential here, and I think by the end of the year it'll be considered a strength and on this team in particular. Nick Bolton's leading the league in tackles for loss. I'm just going to say that. The dude can wrap up. He's just getting exposed in pass coverage.
Yeah,
he's getting exposed in pass coverage. Willie Gay's still coming to his own. He's missed most of the year with a toe injury. There's talent on the team, and I think they could still make it happen, but Spags is going to have to really step it up. And it's hard right now. Anthony Hitchens is out, who's typically been the green sticker, who's the one communicating what's happening. This past game, there was 3 players with the green sticker. So I think maybe even that had something to do with why the team looked so off. There was just miscommunication on what players are supposed to do in a given time, which is an issue. This is year 3 of the system. This shouldn't be this confusing to run the defense as they know it.
You're right. Then that has to fall on Spags.
Yeah. And that's a huge conversation to have, because Tyrann Mathieu is a key component of Spags' defense. So are you willing to sign Tyrann Mathieu to a long-term deal at the top of the safety market like he's going to want, which he deserves in this system? But if the system isn't right for the roster going forward, is Tyrann Mathieu right for the system going forward, which does a lot to the locker room in particular? That's a main leader in all of this. And he's a key figure in all of the NFL. So his influence, I think, carries weight in a lot of different circles. But for this particular aspect, it's hard. It's hard to shape the future with Mathieu in mind if you think Spags is on the way out. And I just don't have any faith in him to be the guy long term to right the ship. I mean, I still think it could be done this year with the proper, twisting and turning and making things happen. But I just think we've run out of juice in the Spags train, and changes should be made on that end.
When's the Chiefs bye week?
12.
12? Oh.
A minute.
Hey.
Yeah, we got a month.
Oh. Yeah.
Right. So here we go. But next week's Monday Night Football against the Giants should be fine. Should be a comeback game. If not, Andy Reid. I think it's time for Andy Reid to come out and say he's walking away.
Whoa.
Easy.
You're getting a little ahead of yourself there.
I'm not, because I think that's what this team runs on. This team runs on emotion. This team runs on momentum. This team runs off of messages. And I think Andy Reid should just take this opportunity to say, you know what, I think this is my last ride for now. He could do all the contingencies in it to say, look, I'm just doing this for my health. I had to go to the hospital a few weeks ago. My hip's not exactly what it used to be. I need to take care of myself for a little bit, but I want to see this one out. Eric B's he's next up. Eric Bieniemy's got the job after I'm gone.
You don't think that could be
really leave?
Do you think though that like going that, because I know you talked about it before we started the podcast of you enjoy just blowing stuff up and starting fresh. Do you think that would
enjoy it, but I think it's better doing that than knowing you can't.
I mean, it's the first, it's the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. Yeah. But I mean, it's 3-4. We're talking about 4 losses, and technically, I think you guys are 5th worst. Like, I'm looking at the standings right now in the AFC. You know, the only teams worse than you guys are Jets, Dolphins, Jags, Texans. But at the same time, you're only 2 games away from the Cincinnati Bengals, like, who are in first freaking place, tied with the Titans, tied with the Raiders. You got the Bills, who had a bye week, so they're 4-2. Everybody else, Ravens, Bengals, Titans, Raiders are all 5-2. Chargers being 4-2 as well because of the bye week this week. So it's not like this can't get fixed quickly, and especially with some matchups that are going to be coming up. We're going to find out, because I think they play what? You guys got the Giants, so that's a get-right game. That is definitely a get-right game. I feel like that. I would put all the marbles to say that Kansas City can actually fix themselves, this last week. And again, running into Derrick Henry is, I mean, the losses.
We stopped Derrick Henry. He wasn't the problem.
Yeah, well, I mean, he did throw a touchdown.
Besides his arm,
it's not that he was a problem.
But that got me. That got me when it happened.
But when you guys decided to shut down Derrick Henry and focus everything on Derrick Henry, that's when everything else opens up. When you guys already have kind of a lackluster secondary. But like I said, you look at the teams. You look at the teams that you guys have lost to. They're all teams that are basically a 2-loss team. Everybody is in that mix. They're all those upper echelon teams, and the Ravens, the Chargers, the Titans, and the Bills. And so this one was bad, but I think this could be the learning. This could be the that was the get right loss, maybe, to kind of, all right, this is where they have to go in and actually look at themselves in the mirror if they haven't already done it, which I really think this week is going to be a game.
Bills.
Yeah, but the Bills are a solid team, and it's not like that was a murder. Yeah, I know the Titans aren't necessarily a solid team, but again, they're rolling right now too, though. I mean, just because they had a slow start, they're hitting their stride right now, and that AJ Brown, Julio Jones, Derrick Henry mix actually came together this week. Like I feel like this week was the first time it came together. Not that even Julio had like some crazy game, but he made a few plays. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, perfect storm. After this, it's going to be Giants, then the Packers and Raiders. Those will be the team. That right there is where you're going to figure everything out. Cowboys are after that. Then you guys get your bye week. So, it's not going to be easy. But I do think you guys could still make the playoffs and still have a decent season and go in next year having something to kind of build on, as long as you guys are, as long as they cut bait. And by cut bait, Frank Clark does have to go, and you guys need to get a, not so Rams oriented, top heavy team. You guys need to spread out and distribute the wealth of that salary cap. We're going to have a spike in the salary cap this next year.
Mhm.
You're going to have the opportunity to build a team back really quick. This is not Patrick Mahomes' fault, but he is being forced to do too much.
And the way to best get that set up is to strip yourself away from Spagnuolo's defense, so you don't have to take care of Tyrann Mathieu's salary anymore. You don't have to take care of Anthony Hitchens' salary anymore. You don't have to take care of Frank Clark's salary anymore. And if you switch away from Andy Reid's type of scheme, the Air Reid scheme where it's out wide and it's more finesse based, and the Andy Reid style, you are exposing Orlando Brown by asking him to play in this scheme.
Yeah.
So now,
massively.
If we are keeping Reid, we shouldn't keep Brown. However, I think he is too good of an asset as a promising left tackle, and he is too good at run blocking to pass him, just to give him away.
And that's
it's too hard to find left tackles.
Orlando Brown is at his best.
So here we go.
He's at his best when he is physically imposing his will, and you guys do not allow him to ever impose his will. So literally, he is out having to.
Why?
What's that?
Why?
Because of that pass-happy air raid type offense that is, again, like you can call it exotic, you can call it wide open. Basics. Run the damn ball. Like, if you wanted to slow the Tennessee Titans down and not, like, run the ball. You know, just because you're down 10 points or 17 points or 21 points doesn't mean you need to abandon the run game altogether in the first quarter. And even when they're winning, they abandon the run game. They do not utilize it. We've seen one good game, really, from Clyde Edwards-Helaire this season where it was a ground game. That was it. So if you guys can do that, that's why I do think it bugs me you guys don't have somebody bigger than the two running. Like, you guys need a bigger running back. You guys need a power running back. You guys need somebody.
We need not Darrell Williams, who I've been trying to get rid of for years now, but he just keeps getting carries. He's not good. He's not a good running back, and he doesn't get more than 4 yards, 5 yards to carry. And he he can get tackled for loss easily. Like, he's not who you need to have a running game going. So I understand why it didn't work yesterday, but again, like, the way the offensive line is constructed is a power offensive line. Like, this is made to get the line moving, get it more just man on man, body on body, just move your guys with our guys and get someone to run behind them and pass them. And Andy Reid just doesn't like doing that. He doesn't like going in I formation or even under center that much, unless it's for some trick play where there's going to be a jet sweep reverse or spin out of it into a Statue of Liberty formation. Like, he's cute. He's cute, and he's Andy Reid, and he's legendary. But I think in order to get us to where we need to be this season, you need a rallying cry. You need something that motivates the team to step it up to another level that they previously haven't. And I just don't see anything else in the toolbox that could acquire that besides Andy Reid's farewell tour. For now. Look, this is the NFL.
I think making
coaches can
big,
retire and walk back at any time.
How about maybe like a big splash trade? How about something like that? Like, maybe
we've already drained our capital with big splash trades, though.
Yeah, but I mean,
like,
you could always. But
that's
even
how
then
you
again,
rebuild.
Then again, do you then just ship out Frank Clark right now? Do you see if you can?
Nobody is buying Frank Clark, and his contract isn't even like valuable to get rid of until after this season.
Yeah. Just wondering if there's I'm wondering if there's anything that can be done, but it doesn't really seem like there is. I just think that this is the reality check alone should do what it needs to do in terms of fixing this team. I think so. I think at least offensively. Like, I mean, that's the thing is Patty has got away with so many things over the years. So many things you're not supposed to do as a quarterback, but we've allowed him to do it because he's Patrick Mahomes and he's done it. So, like, when he keeps throwing across his body, you know, or you know, throwing a back, you know, backside of the defense, stuff like that, it's like, oh man, well, it's Patrick Mahomes, so it's all right. You know, he can take that chance, he can make that risk, he can throw into double coverage, he can throw into triple coverage because he knows this guy's going to catch it. Well, you have Tyreek Hill, who doesn't have the greatest hands as a wide receiver. He's an outstanding threat. And then you have everybody else. You have Kelsey, but then you have everybody else. And it is a huge,
Josh Gordon's not getting any touches because Andy Reid's scheme's too difficult to pick up, apparently. Well, but it's notorious. It's notoriously a tricky playbook to pick up for new players to step up and contribute.
We know.
So, we're not allowing our talent to produce due to this scheme they're being asked to do. And like you were saying about Patrick Mahomes, I mean, like, he's made a career off of breaking out, getting in space, and just making something happen. And that's his style, and that's something that needs to be discussed about him as well, is that he's struggling with the fact that he has to play hero ball again. He's playing like Texas Tech Patrick Mahomes, where he knows his defense is going to give up 7. We have to score 8 on every drive. And you can see just his desperation moves that he's doing. He's not settled. He's not feeling calm, which is a problem when you've invested as much as you have into the offensive line. And it's good enough for them to do their job, but you can't ask Orlando Brown to protect Patrick Mahomes when he's doing 7 to 10 step drops. Like, that angle isn't physically possible for him. And that's why Harold Landry and Bud Dupree, they were going after him. They're killing him at it. And that's a scheme flaw. That's a scheme exposure. So we're going to have to go more under center. We're going to have to push more. We're going to have to do more play actions, whether it is jet sweeps, whether it is creative, what have you. But we have to step away from what Andy Reid has done up to this point and what Steve Spagnuolo has done up to this point, because the NFL has adjusted, and that way isn't working anymore. So I will give credit to the Tampa Bay template, because that is what teams are doing now. They're rushing 4 and they're dropping 2 back in deep coverage, and it's working. And I actually got a stat yesterday which blew me away. How many times out of 39 dropbacks do you think the Titans blitzed yesterday?
I would say 4 or 5.
Okay. They blitzed once yesterday.
Once?
So 3.
I guess they did write the blueprint.
2.6% of the dropbacks were blitzed yesterday. They're just letting him stay back, and they know he's going to be too anxious, and you just let him drop all the way back. Let him keep backpedaling, waiting for someone to get open. Let your guy beat the tackles and just start chasing him, and he's going to throw it up, and he's going to try to find Tyreek Hill down the field, or he's going to try to find Byron Pringle across the field and throw it. He's going to make mistakes, just like his scouting report out of Texas Tech said he would. But for years, Andy Reid was able to, I wouldn't say hide it, but they were able to keep him comfortable enough that he wasn't making the rash, irresponsible decisions.
Yeah.
And now we're dealing with the guy who isn't comfortable in the situation he's being put in, and things have to be changed.
Well, then
I'm just saying, if we really want to do it, we need to do it right.
Yeah, that's the thing, is if it's not working, then you have to change it up. And if the Bucks did then basically write the script on how to make Patty uncomfortable and figure out, again, it takes years. It's what
but I think that's everybody. I think that works for anybody.
Oh yeah,
just get pressure with 4 and drop 2.
Oh yeah, that's true. And your guy, but that's to your offense is vulnerable to that specifically because Patty gets antsy. Because it's almost always zero protection. You never have.
He's now turnover prone. Yeah. So now you let him do those big drives, those elongated drives, which, by the way, they have been doing. They have been doing the 8 to 10 play drives. They didn't last game, obviously, but
I watched this last game. I watched every one of them.
Yeah, they're still among the highest. I think they're still number 1 in like the DVOA offense in terms of like just production.
Yeah.
Like on a play-to-play basis, they're still the Chiefs, but they're not beating people deep. They're just trickling along until a turnover happens. And at that point, the formula is bend, don't break. Pat will, or the Kansas City will turn it over at some point.
Yeah,
because they're not all on Pat.
You have to, if that's the counter punch, if that's a counter punch that drops the boxer, then you have to learn to counter the counter. You have to know what's coming, and you have to be able to game plan for it. So if they are going to continuously do the same thing over and over again, and not run the ball. If you're only like, that's the thing. Just run the ball. It is very simple. Run the ball, set up play action.
Not when it's Darrell Williams.
Let Patrick Mahomes get out of the pocket on some bootlegs. Let him get comfortable. Like there's very simple. Like I know I'm not Andy Reid, but like it's very simple. He's far smarter and he will have forgotten more football than I will ever know. But like you are too stuck in your own ways. This is almost Gruden-esque now of, just being so proud of your system that you can't be willing to adapt or change. When you see, the team like the Bucs, every week it's different. And that was the Patriot way of a game plan. Like our offense is going to be tailored to what they do wrong, or, what they do, what like they do best or what they do worst. And it, if they had to run the ball 50 times or if they had to pass the ball 50 times, like they're willing to change it from week to week. And it doesn't seem like Andy Reid is willing to change at all. That being said, I hope you don't get disowned by Chiefs Nation for saying that it's Reid's time to go.
I don't think I will. I think it's a quite growing sentiment. I haven't heard it yet, honestly. Like I haven't heard people go with this specific take.
Trade Patty.
I think if I'm in the locker room, that's the type of shit we're talking about.
Yeah,
so like,
don't worry. Every fan base has those fans.
Yeah. But I would say, like, look, if I'm in the locker room and I'm trying to figure out the best way for them to still win the Super Bowl, I think all of your logic checks out, and Andy Reid comes out and says, look, guys, this is it for me. All in quotations. These are all quotation marks because, again, he could just say, hey, I'm good. I'm back this next offseason. And everyone rally cries behind him. And he's back and he's good or whatever. But in order to say we're switching things up, say, like, this is my time. I'm taking care of myself after this season. Eric Bieniemy's show from here on out. He's a running backs guy. He's a running game guy. Like he is, I can't speak for the man, obviously, but I would assume he has more of a running game focused philosophy than what Andy Reid has came to acquire over the decades that he's been in the NFL. If we're trying to fix the team, if we're trying to continue this dynasty, let Andy Reid go, get the team fired up about that so they can, rally behind Andy's last big ride. Get rid of Spags so we can get rid of Hitchens, so we can get rid of Tyrod, so we can get rid of Frank. Reshape that whole defensive.
That is an entire rebuild.
This is Brett Veach. This is what he does. Every offseason there's some sort of drastic rebuild. And I think the entire defense needs to be rebuilt around the key players. They're two linebackers, L'Jarius Sneed, Chris Jones, Derek Nottie, and Juan Thornhill.
Yeah. You do have some good young core guys, but still, I'm shocked that you're hitting the complete implode button, or
But it's not implode. It is.
If you're talking about, I know it's already happened. So you're going to clean up the pieces and the rubble and not try to, duct tape or Band-Aid something. Sometimes you just have to rip it off and you do have to start fresh. But, and that's not to say, again, you don't have some key pieces and core players. And when you have Patrick Mahomes, as long as you even have a top 20 defense, that's all you need. But they just need to learn to run the ball. They need to learn to switch it up a little bit. They need to not do what they have been doing.
Right. But it also would help if the people that are coaching them in the position to do what they've been doing changed. Whether it's their ways or changed personnel overall.
Well, we shall find out. Did you get to check out my Buccaneers complete murdering of the Chicago Bears? It was a Chicago shellacking. It's
not fair. It's just not fair. Like, Justin Fields shouldn't be put on the field right now. And it's so annoying. It's so annoying that we have to deal with this every year and see young quarterbacks' careers get ruined. Justin Fields might be on that trajectory. Zach Wilson, done. Well, not done, but he's getting hurt. That's an issue. Like, we can't put these guys in before they're ready, and Justin Fields is just not in a position that he could succeed in. And I think that's why Matt Nagy's trying to get Andy Dalton to be the quarterback the whole year, so he could just take the hits and give him another offseason to fix their offensive line. But yeah, the Tampa Bay really went in there and just executed and did their job. They do not need any changes. They are doing just fine.
The greatest starts in Buccaneers franchise history. Number 6
in terms of
they're 6-1. 6-1 is the best start they've ever had. Just from a record standpoint. Numbers wise, passing wise, everything, all the above. Obviously, it's the best. I think Brady is on pace. I think he's 27. I have to double check. I don't want to misquote, but I want to say he's 27-2, 27 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. So he is certainly on pace to.
He's gonna win MVP.
Yeah, I think he's winning MVP for sure. There's too many feel-good stories going along with it. I don't know if you got to see the highlight. There was a kid that had terminal cancer, and he had a little sign that said, Tom Brady helped me beat cancer. And so it was super heartfelt, and it's been talked about all across sports media today. He ended up going over there and giving him his gloves and I think a hat and something like that. And the kid broke down crying. You could see the dad just was so ecstatic. Oh man, that meant I think as much to the dad as it did the kid. And you could see just the whole thing was just so beautiful. It chokes me up a little bit seeing it. But did you also see that Mike Evans gave away the touchdown pass number 600?
Yeah.
Damn you, Mike.
He should have got at least what the cancer kid got. He didn't. He undersold what he had. I think he only got he got team store credit. He got another ball.
He's getting a signed ball. I think. In the press conference, Tom Brady said I'm going to hook that man up. I don't normally keep any of these, but I definitely want to take care of him. And he was super thankful. And the guy, even the fan even said, I can't say no to Tom Brady. I would be, man, I would be so hard to not be dude, there's $1 million sitting in my hand right now. That's probably a $5 million ball if that gets sold on the open market.
Yeah,
that might even be a $10 million ball.
He was on the spot.
If that's me, dude, I might be running out of the freaking. But at the same time, it's Tom Brady, so I would feel I'd have to. What would you do if you grabbed the ball?
Yeah.
And that was Patty's.
Be what can we do here? It's the most we can do with this. Yeah, definitely at least a meet and greet photo, autograph on the new ball. And yeah, throw me some swag, dude. This is your historic. This is your historic stuff.
I think
and season tickets.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I know, right? There's got to be a hookup on there. There's got to be all right. That was the fact that they asked. They didn't make them give it up. They asked them nicely for it, and the fan was willing to do so. So. They better hook that boy
He's gonna live with regret the rest of his. He's gonna think about he's gonna wake up late at night, just be I could have asked for this too, man. I could have been I wouldn't be in this apartment anymore. This dude's gonna have emotional stress for the rest of his life. Damn you, Tom Brady. But no, it was a lot of sentiment went into that game. It sounds like
21,
I'm glad y'all enjoyed it.
21-3, 21 touchdowns to 3 interceptions.
Okay.
Kyler
21's a lot better than 27.
Does
anybody have
number 1.
We're in week 7 right now?
Yeah, we're in week 7, so I guess we can divide. What is that divided up into? What is he on pace for? Let's do some quick
Wait,
math.
you said he had 21-7, so that's 3 a game.
No, he's 21-3. He's got a 7-0 ratio, touchdown to turnover ratio right now. I don't know what he's got for the.
I think he's going to end up around 50. I said before, I think he's going to. I thought him and Pat were going to put on a show, but I guess Pat's going to, get his swing back for a little bit.
It comes out to 51. Yeah. Obviously, that was pretty easy.
I think he's going to get there.
Yeah. 21, 7 games, 3 touchdowns, averaging 3 touchdowns a game. Yeah, I think he easily gets there because he's literally had. They completely throttled down. In the second half, completely throttled down. They only scored 10 points in the second half because that's all they had to do, But Still, yeah. I think Matt Nagy needs to be the first coach to get fired. I know we've talked about this several times. I am confirming, fire Matt Nagy. He is a
Should we just do
trash.
that? Should we just keep like a running most likely to get fired first?
I think so. I mean, it's definitely getting to the witching hour, like they
Oh,
say on the NFL
well,
Red Zone.
we're
It is getting
witching,
to the
baby.
witching hour for some of these men and their jobs. I'm gonna say he's the first one to go because Urban Meyer, the name Urban Meyer has probably earned himself a little bit of leeway. DC Dan Campbell threw every freaking thing he had in the kitchen goddamn sink at the Rams. Did you see that?
Man, they
Freaking
wanted it. Yeah, they wanted that.
Oh, what was it? Two fake punts and a trick onside kick. I mean, what else can you do? Like literally, DC Dan can't or MC DC literally gave his best coaching, the best coaching of his life. He should win an award for having his team in there, but it's Jared Goff. Oh man, I pray that they get their first win. I feel so bad for that coach. I really, really do.
I just hope he just needs to start coaching like that in every game.
Yeah.
Like every game,
You have
there's
to
just
now.
fakes.
You have to
Every
be
game,
as
there's
desperate
fake
as
onside
humanly
or trick
possible.
onsides. And just start a revolution. Just like going for fourth downs more often than not. If it's ever like 4th and 4 under, you go for it.
Yeah.
4th and 3. But yeah. No, it was fine. It was cool. I thought I was most surprised by the Bengals out of everything. I mean, they went in.
Do you think that was the final straw for the Baltimore Ravens losing Ronnie Stanley? Like, I think Lamar Jackson can only mask so much. You can only play, again, that hero ball. You can only, like, carry all 52 active players, like, or whatever it is. I mean, it is...
And 18 injured reserve players.
Yeah, I mean, again, they're number 2. They might even be number 1 now, but I know, like, last week they were number 2 to Detroit, who can't win a single game. And...
Yeah, I mean, NFL's the best of the best, and it's very hard to win, and you can't do it if your 52-man roster just isn't it can't compete with the other one, and it gets to a point where you just lose too much talent at key positions, and I think that's what we're seeing with the Ravens, and they'll still show up, but it's hard to have that type of running scheme and just overall running game with your 5th, 4th string running back and your 2nd string O-line and wide receivers who go on and off the injury report on a weekly basis. So, I mean, it's tough time for Lamar, but he's going to keep making it entertaining, so I'll keep watching.
I agree. Do you think I don't think anybody would have seen this coming from the Bengals, but they do have some guys. They bringing in Trey Hendrickson was definitely showed to be a positive. They have a good defensive line. Chidobe Awuzie looks better, and orange than he did
Logan
in
Wilson, man.
Silver and blue. Logan Wilson. Ballin.
I'm a big fan of his
Ogunjobi, like
Hakeem Davis Gaither.
Dude, I mean Sam Hubbard, like we can go on and on, but like were we just blind to this? I mean, we knew Joe Burrow, like we've been calling Joe Burrow's number. They've got bodies. Jamar Chase is a monster. We knew that. We knew Tyler Boyd was always going to be a good Robin and just needed a Batman. And then you've got other guys, Higgins and all these. I mean, they've got bodies. Like this really could be a damn good team. This could be a playoff contender. I don't know if they are 5-2 good and the number 1 team in the AFC. Man, leave me alone, guys. Leave me alone.
Something's happening.
Yeah, I don't know. Everybody wants to talk football right now. They're all calling me on their way home from work. They don't realize that I'm live streaming. Jesus, the nerve of these Raiders fans and Niners fans. How dare you?
Jets trading a 6th conditional pick for Joe Flacco. Where'd he come? Oh, he's coming from Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Maybe there's something happening in Philadelphia.
Oh, Deshaun Watson?
Who knows?
I don't know. Maybe. Yeah. But
yeah, apparently the Panthers are stepping into that conversation now too.
Oh yeah, after Sam Darnold. God damn it, I did it again. I started Sam Darnold just thinking. I started him again. It's not like it mattered. That was a
really good throws the week before. Like
dude, I thought he was gonna be running.
He can turn it on sometimes.
I thought him and Daniel Jones were gonna have like a white boy QB, like mobile quarterback, like competition, and they were just gonna, because they have no receivers. I just assumed there was gonna be 1 or 2 rushing touchdowns. I thought he had DJ Moore. Like I thought, but God, I was wrong. I knew this. I knew this.
Would you rather have Daniel Jones or Sam Darnold right now?
Say what?
Would you rather have Daniel Jones or Sam Darnold?
Could I just step off a cliff? Like, is there a third option? Like, can they just
no?
They're both trash.
Like DJ just seems to be doing what he's asked and just following.
Yeah, I mean he won.
Making plays.
He won. Like, so obviously you have to say Daniel Jones. Like you have to say the winner. So, but yeah, when you get benched for PJ Walker, I hope PJ Walker
don't sleep on PJ.
Dude, PJ's a beast. If Kyler can do it, at 5'10", he could do it at 5'8". Who cares? 5'9", whatever he is.
Yeah, what's a few more inches?
Yeah.
I mean, I think that'd be super dope. Like if the Panthers do trade for Deshaun, Darnold goes somewhere else.
That would not be super.
They're like,
dope
hey, we need
Bucs
PJ
fan.
to play for a few weeks just until Deshaun gets a playbook under his belt. Both Houston guys.
I don't like it. Nope, I don't want it.
I'm here for it.
Nope. You need to stay the hell out of my division. I'd like them to stay the hell out of my conference, but that ain't gonna happen. I don't know. I think Philly has definitely got to be considering it right now because their team is not looking good. When the Raiders smack you like that, I think the Raiders are legit, man. They really are, especially after this.
Yeah.
This is a rallying cry for them. The Gruden loss, like Carr has stepped up. I think he's more of a leader now than he's ever been. I think he is like. I think people, for once, I think that team is like got Carr's back. Like there's no doubt. There's now no doubt that Carr's the guy in his Oakland. Team. That's his team now. It was Gruden's team now. And now it's Carr's team. He's second in yards right now, just behind Tom Brady. There's reason to be excited. And Unique Ngakoue and Max Crosby are just.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if they're not a better defensive line right now than the Bucs. Like the way that they've been playing and eating up defense. Like I watched these games side by side yesterday, and you've just seen them both. I look over and watch the Bucs, terrorizing Fields, and then you look over and you see Jalen Hurts getting terrorized and running for his life too. Obviously, Hurts had a little bit better game than Fields did, but not by much. So I'm excited. I'm excited. What is that? My roosters are coming to crow. However that saying goes, like. My hot takes about these damn Vegas Raiders are finally coming to fruition, and it feels pretty damn good. It's nice to be right every now and then. Not saying I'm always right. I admit my wrongs every day, but damn, it feels good.
It's gotta feel nice to feel confident, because I don't know what I'm going to see on a weekly basis anymore. But that's kind of always been how it goes. It's always weird when the Chiefs play, but it doesn't feel good to no longer be pretty confident against the Las Vegas Raiders, because I was as soon as last week. But now, oh man, I don't know if I could take a Raiders loss. Or I'm not too concerned about the Broncos until Fangio's gone. But yeah, definitely the Raiders are better than I anticipated them being.
Well, I wish you luck on that. In a couple weeks, 3 weeks, because you might. I mean that is it. Raider. What is it? It's gonna go. You're gonna have an easy win this week, and then it's gonna go Raiders, Green Bay, and Dallas. That's a murderer's row if I've ever seen one. So let's see what you can do. But I like your odds. I like your odds against Dallas. I think matchup wise, you got them.
Yeah, well,
I say that.
We're on the New York first, and then hopefully by Dallas, Andy Reid will have turned in his his retirement plans.
Resignation papers.
And again, this is just to get the people rolling. And he could come back in March. That's fine. But for now, we need to rally the troops.
Take a sabbatical. Call it that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Just step away from the team a little bit. Let's enjoy
yourself. De-stress. Get your head right.
Let Eric Bieniemy get his beak wet and see if the head coaching role is right for him. But I think also Eric Bieniemy is equally as at fault of this offense not doing what it's supposed to be doing. So we can't act like the play caller is Andy Reid. The play caller is Eric Bieniemy. If correct me if I'm wrong.
It alternates. I'd actually be interested to hear. Nobody's actually asked that, but typically in the past few years, there has been transitions between who's calling what. So I don't know. I don't know who's calling right now. But whoever let's do the other one.
I'm sure Reid has influence of what type of plays or what he wants to run, and then Bieniemy probably calls the play. That's what I would assume. Like this is what Reid's feeling. This is where the game plan. They already have that set game plan. Reid's the one that makes the game plan, and Bieniemy probably follows it, as close to a T as he can. That's what I would assume, but then again, I don't know.
Yeah. In the past, there was times when it was like there would be a passing game coordinator and a running game coordinator, and they would both suggest what to do in this situation, and then Reid would make the final call, or if he's like, "Nah, I like this right now," and there was kind of a hierarchy that way. I don't know what they're doing now. Someone should figure out in Kansas City media. It'd be great. But yeah, changes need to be made.
100% agree. Not sure what else we got to really cover. Talked Detroit. We talked KC.
Who you got tonight?
I think Jameis is gonna have a heyday and go in there and put a beating on Geno Smith. I'm sure it'll be closer than I expect, but Seattle's defense, Seattle's secondary is vulnerable. Jameis is due for a kind of a one of those the good Jameis games, I think, and so it's
is he a primetime guy? Is he a big primetime guy?
I don't know.
Anything?
I think he's embarrassed me on primetime several times, but he's also embarrassed me on Sundays and at 10 o'clock and 1 o'clock and 5 o'clock and 3:30 or 3:25, 3:05. He's embarrassed me on several occasions. So he might do the same and prove me wrong tonight. But I do think Jameis he's got some stuff to show. And so I'm going to say that there's going to be a 60-yard screen pass to Alvin Kamara that goes for a touchdown. I think you'll hit Callaway on a deep ball. I think they're going to be rolling. They had a bye week this last week, right? Or no? It's just a long week.
I think they were good. Maybe they were.
3-2, 2-4. Yeah, I think they had a bye week.
Yeah, because I don't think I played Kamara in that week. Okay, cool.
Yeah, they're coming off a bye, and they have an extra day against a banged-up Geno Smith Seattle team. I'm going to say Saints by a New Orleans mile.
Nice.
Cool.
And we got the Manning cast coming back too.
Yes. They do you think they got
Brady?
Do you think they got in trouble? Is that why we had a little 2-week hiatus because Eli Manning giving the bird? Oops.
I'm sure you got a scolding about that, but no, I think before the season, I remember them mentioning they were only doing 8 games. So this was pre-scheduled.
Well, they talked a bunch of shit on Joe Buck, and they gave the double bird to the camera, and then boom, they were gone the next week. So I was just curious.
I think maybe they amped it up a little bit more because they were leaving, perhaps. Oh. But as far as I can recall, this was planned that they would have a few weeks off.
I don't know. Let a painter paint. Let the Mannings be the Mannings. Let them do their thing. Who cares if they're flipping off the camera?
There must.
Is that really that bad?
Yeah, grow up.
Yeah, seriously.
FCC.
Bunch of damn Karens. But all right, man. Got a solid hour in.
Cool. Monday minute.
Yeah, I like this. Thank you for tuning in to the Blitz Breakdown. Oh, no, wait. You know what? I got a question for you. I got a little side thing before we go. What you gonna be for Halloween?
Currently, I have this referee outfit that I just kind of keep on rotation every year in case need be. Just like always works. So worst comes at least that. And if anything, if aspirationally I can get a Squid Games suit made, not the one that everyone. No one. I don't want the number 1. I don't want number 456. I want 281 because that's the Houston area code.
Smart man.
Or something unique that nobody else is gonna have, because I know Squid Games is gonna be the big outfit, but if I was to do it differently, I'd go that. How about yourself?
I can't.
You should go as a pirate with your hand.
Put a little hook on it. I'm not spending any money, so that's my goal. Is like I'm not spending a damn dollar. So it's whatever I can scrounge together in my my closet. And so I know I have a legit, like, authentic looking Super Troopers costume, and I haven't busted that out in Mississippi yet. So like that'll be new. I do have an 80. I have like a 80s hair wig, so I might do like a rocker. But a good one that I seen was Christmas Vacation. The uncle? You know what I'm talking?
The robe.
Yeah, you basically wear the robe and you got a
Eddie,
cigar.
I think.
Yeah, Uncle Eddie. You wear the robe. You wear the robe, you get the cigar, and then you have like a little the hose. For like when he's dumping his shit, and like and the house blows up. So I thought that was hilarious. I've never seen someone do that, and so I've been super like trying to figure out what I'm gonna do. But I could do the lumberjack, like there's a bunch of different ways to go about it, especially with the beard.
You're excited. You're really excited to go trick or treating. Good for you.
I don't know about trick or treating, but I haven't been to a party like outside of like maybe one of our work events since moving here. Probably since I left California like 4 years ago.
Oh boy.
And so I have 2 festivities to go to if I don't end up going out of town. But
double party?
I love Halloween, so it is my favorite holiday.
Hi.
Okay. I love scary movies. Watching. I might even. On Halloween, I think I'm going to sit back and try to watch as many of the Halloween series as I possibly can. I say that, but it's going to be football, so,
In the middle of Mississippi, just watching slasher horror movies. You're off.
Did you see the new one?
I hate scary movies, Jack.
Do you?
I don't like I don't like being spooked at all. I don't like being startled. I don't like being spooked, and I don't like being...
Slasher movies spook you out?
Yeah.
Like creep you out?
Slash.
Do they? Oh, see, I've been watching them since I've been a kid. Like I root for them. I literally do.
I'm not mad at slashers. Slashers are fine.
Those are the only ones I like. I like the old 80s style slasher movies. I like Freddy. I like Jason. I like Michael Myers.
Cheese factor.
What's that?
You like the whole cheese factor aspect?
Yeah, I like being mad that I'm like, just shoot him in the face already, end it. Like they got me, and that's the emotion they're trying to like get out of you, and they got it out of me in this last Halloween Kills. I was literally in bed at midnight by myself yelling at the damn TV. So I was like, damn it, they got me, messing with my emotions. But
well, I hope you have a great spooky season then.
You too, sir. I hope you have a safe and fun and wild Halloween. So
that's the plan.
Happy Halloween to, I don't know what we call it, the Blitz Gang, whatever y'all want to call yourselves. Thank you guys for tuning into the Blitz Breakdown. My Mississippi internet is fixed, so we will be back to going live as much as possible, minus maybe a few spots here and there. So tune in, sign up, subscribe, hit that like button, follow us on all platforms, Spotify, iTunes, what is it? They don't even have Google Music anymore. That shit's gone. YouTube Music, whatever you want to call it. Find us everywhere on all platforms, and please go hit that subscribe button. We are 51 away from 1,000, and we want that money, son.
Yes, sir.
Bucks Super Bowl bound, no questions asked, guaranteed back-to-back champions. After this week, I'm done being bashful about it.
Oh shit. Okay.
Blitz.
It's like that.
Yep.
Well, I'm less confident, but go Chiefs.
I hope it works out for you, bud. Not my